a special shout out to that baby and that mum that I saw near the elevator, that exchange. There were so many stories that happened from that, but this is what one of them ignited: the understanding between silence, stillness, chaos, because chaos and stillness are in relationship. So I saw this fresh mom pushing the pram, and the baby's making noises like babies do. And then she kept like shushing the baby, right? And she's like, shh. But the baby wasn't like crying. It was like those like sounds like, I don't know, like those kind of baby sounds. And yeah, the baby was babying. And then the mom was like, shh. And then every now and again, she'd go like, I don't know why in my mind now the goo 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 was coming, because that's not what the baby did. But for for this story, we're gonna just keep it as that. So she did it, and then she did it again, and then immediately she was like, shh, and then she was like, shh, right? And then I was like, oh wow, okay, that was a interesting change. It was very quick, right? And then it got me thinking of how we have been from like young, being like shh, like told to hush, right? And sometimes we told to hush even when the sounds aren't of agony, but more of pleasure. So sometimes you can be making a sound out of like pleasure, you enjoying yourself, whatever you're doing even as an adult, but as a child, you enjoying yourself. And then the parents sometimes will step in, remember to play, and then whatever kicks in, whatever form of reality kicks in, silence is needed because those sounds are creating chaos. So it became this interesting dive of how so many of us become afraid of sharing our voices, and it's in different timelines, different stages of your life. We are afraid to share our voices because we already feel from our conditioning that someone is going to hush us, someone's going to tell us to keep quiet. And it has become such an interesting relationship with silence and stillness because as a baby, right? As a baby, you have no any recollection of any particular trauma, right? And then obviously within your environment, things get added onto that experience. So you are a baby, you free. Your natural thing is movement, it's sound, it's picking up on sensory experiences and trying to like move that energy. So you'll see a lot of like kids just constantly like they'll go here, then they'll go here, then they'll go here, and then they'll do that, and they'll do that, and then so they haven't necessarily learned how to navigate, okay, hold your attention and time here, complete the task. Then it comes into parent who's healing their relationship, right? Because it's a mirror to you of your inner child wounds that are also healing through this like baby. And because you were hushed, and then obviously at a later stage you grow up and you question. It's the natural state of life to question, but then you get hushed. Why? Because lifestyle comes into play, where now we mothers have been moved from the home, and obviously this is to those of you who believe that naturally there is a mothering that tends to, I don't know how to put this because I know some people might be offended with this, with like we gotta go to work and then but I'm speaking to a lot of women who are just like we used to create, we used to be way softer than we are now. And that's what life is giving us, an opportunity through these kids, through these experiences. When you see little kids, when you see grandparents towards that stage of where they becoming a grandparent, it's like life is giving us this moment of being like soft to go, really, your strength is your softness. Your strength is absorbing nature. It's absorbing the sound. It's being free to say what you want to say. It's being free to dance. It's being free to just verbalize and to be free and to move the body, because as a child you're a clear channel. They're like the clearest channels possible between this world and the spirit world, and like just channeling greater divine energy. And then because the system moves you away from dancing in circle, moving in fire, and observing the moon cycles, then we now put into a certain system where, earlier I was talking about, or there was a post that I put on earlier where it said that my heart goes out to the two types of people in this world right now, and that is, it happens to everybody. So it's also bringing that conversation around from a parent perspective. Can our kids experience us fully and not somebody else? Can the parent to child relationship really go into the deepest healing, where you're spending time with a mirror image of yourself, and you're spending so much time uh, with a life that has come to teach you and help you understand and help you heal your wounds, because these kids are, just like I said, direct channels. Okay, so now I digress, but not really. Stick with me, please. And then we go into this space where now, because we were hushed, right? Because we were hushed. And for whatever reason, if that's a natural thing to go into, there's so many things to talk about that as well. But we go into, I mean, here's the thing now. We go into to silence, yes. So now, because as a child, because you're the energy is being bottled into the body. When it's being bottled into the body, it is suppressed because now you aren't able to use your voice. And that's why you fear to speak the truth, because you don't know how that energy is going to be received. Because every single time you try to give of yourself, you are hushed or being asked to hush, right? So all this energy is suppressed. And in its bottling, it can express itself in so many different ways. So it can go into like deep depression, deep rest, and it can go into like, I'm actually just bolting, this energy is just bolting it wherever it goes, I don't care, sort of like energy. And then there's also that neutral where you neither here nor there, but in a whatever, in a lack of care state, right? So now, because of that, that tended to chaos. So naturally, our state is silence and stillness, right? Where it says, be still and know I am God. Be still and know that I am God. And if you repeat that in meditation, understand what that actually says. Or, yeah, understand what this is. So you're going into that, right? Stillness and silence, because now your nervous system is recalibrated into safety, where you're no longer being hushed. So there's no stress of being able to move this energy, right? And then it just got me thinking of how I've moved from like yoga space and so comfortable of having props to going, there is no props where I'm moving these immersions to, but bring your own props, right? Bring your own props. And within that, we're going to work with those props, because what this work is trying to, or what it's informing itself as, is trying to teach us to play with energy and however it moves. Like, let's say you're standing in mountain pose, right? So I'm in mountain pose. Now you picking up a sensory experience where you like, there's an irritation, a child is crying, maybe because you're feeling on their behalf. So they're crying, your attention is now there. What about mountain pose? Sometimes what will happen, because it is an unconscious thing, you'll start doing that, right? And this might seem a little bit exaggerated, but then when you're going from here to, okay, how do I allow the movement to just step from side to side? So I'm paying attention, I'm still in mountain pose, and I'm just going, my attention is there. Let me take it towards the opposite side. Let me go there. Okay, if you've come this far in this conversation, you'll know better what work we're going to be doing on this Sunday immersion. So if you want to join this 26th Sunday immersion, where we're going to use where we are and we begin to tell story, because the body now is revealing itself of how does it want you to remember certain things and then create beauty from that pain that you remember, right? So because now I'm feeling it in my hips and I'm just standing, and what I'm doing basically is just like, in fast movement it would be that, in slow movement it will be one toe, one heel, da, shoulder. Slowly ground, one toe, one heel, bah, to the other shoulder, right? And then breathing with it. So really it's going to be a meditation in movement with sound, because every now and again then you're going to be using the chakra healing sounds, like the usually the breath that I do, because it's this breath, like every iteration of movement that we're creating, we're coming home into ourselves, we're coming into safety, we're recalibrating and rewiring the brain and nervous system to come back to safety. So then in whatever movements we're doing, we're playing with the energy. So now I could go, let's just stand and step out wide, right? Reach the arms up, and then slowly we hold. We take this energy, create movement, but it's slow, right? Because it's from the ground. Because now this workshop or immersion, we are going to start moving into story around safety and grounding. How do we rewire that patterning in our bodies to come back into safety and grounding? So that's the deep focus, belonging to ourselves, connecting to the heart, being here now, learning how to interpret energy, that even when you're standing, because standing is such a common thing to do, right? So with it, your feet on the ground, you'll move into that. So it's a form of slow sensual dance, because you see, like, you're just observing as if someone is holding you, exactly like how I'll move with my dances. But I think this is going to teach it in a very slow way. We're going to go very slow, and you're going to start from the ground because of safety and the breath, that home breath, like you've arrived home. And then that was like so much information, but you can go replay it back if you want to. So I hope I get to see you in one of these immersions whilst I'm still in the Gobstart. I look forward to just creating, co-creating, and playing with the energy with you guys, because it's going to be amazing. Just learning how to play and recreate that energy that was hushed as a child, naturally so, right? For whatever reason externally that had that influence. We going to allow now the space where we can allow that voice to come out. We can allow that expression. So whatever has been suppressed in the body, we're allowing the wisdom of the body to, in this space, freely teach you how to express it in a safe way that feels really in alignment with your body. So I will see you in one of these immersions at some point in time, hopefully. If you understand, what I'm doing is meditation in movement, meditation through breath work, meditation through visualization, through storytelling, meditation through sound journeys, meditation through touch, massage, through touch and adjustment in the work practice. And yeah, just inviting that deep massage and deep intimacy back with yourself so that you can understand what your body is communicating to you. So it's all weird and wonderful. And as I said, if you're still here, I'll be working with you.